Hi there! In the last course, we learned how to empathize with users and define their problems. We used empathy maps, personas, user stories, and user journey maps to identify pain points the user might experience. Our role as UX designers is to understand these pain points and come up with ideas to solve them. Empathy maps, personas, user stories, and user journey maps are tools UX designers commonly use to expand our understanding of the people we're designing for. A lot of planning and detail goes into using these tools, so if you need to refresh your memory, feel free to revisit earlier content. Let's think back to empathy maps. As a reminder, an empathy map is an easily understood chart that explains everything designers have learned about a type of user. Empathy maps help UX designers understand a user's behavior when interacting with a product. To get a little more specific, empathy maps focus on 4 main motivations of users: what the user says, thinks, does, and feels. In other words, empathy maps tap into our users' minds and hearts to help us understand their thoughts and feelings in a given situation. The insights gathered from empathy maps allow us to come up with ideas for solutions that address the user's problems and appeal to the user on a deeper level. Next, let's recall personas. As you might remember, personas are fictional users whose goals and characteristics represent the needs of a larger group of users. As you're ideating, it's a good time to reference the personas you created to help you remember who you're designing for. Ask yourself, are there any specific goals they want to achieve? Or are there any needs that you should design for in order to support the personas? In addition, you might want to review your user stories. A user story is a fictional one-sentence story told from a persona's point of view to inspire and inform design decisions. It introduces the user, lays out an obstacle, and states their ultimate goal. The user story expands on the persona and deepens your understanding of a user group. A good user story can also inspire empathetic design decisions by making our approach user-centered. If you have a lot of user needs to consider, user stories determine which ones are the most critical to resolve. This can help narrow down which user needs to focus on when coming up with ideas for solutions. Lastly, think back to the user journey maps you created. Remember, a user journey is the series of experiences a user has as they interact with your product. User journeys build off the personas and user stories you've already created. User journeys help you come up with ideas for designs that truly support the user's needs and reduce their problems, or what we also like to call pain points. Together, empathy maps, personas, user stories, and user journey maps help us create a problem statement or a clear description of the user's needs that our design should address. Coming up, we'll transition from the problem the user is facing to the solution we can provide as UX designers. So get ready to dig in.